he's known. He's a frequent, like, visitor. They know him. That changes the story.
Chembera stated that the police are conducting a thorough investigation to determine the actual case.
With every passing day, new details keep coming out about Ashlee's fiancé, and one thing people online seem to agree on, at least from all the speculation, is that something about this situation just isn't sitting right. Because the idea that she would take her own life on her birthday, right after getting proposed to? I don't know, you guys. That just doesn't add up for a lot of people. So now, more information is starting to come out, and it's raising even more questions. The people at the hotel have started speaking, and now they are exposing the lies that have been told, including the ones that Joe had no idea what really happened. According to staff at the resort, another couple staying near Ashlee and Joe's villa reported hearing disturbing noises coming from their room. And they weren't just minor sounds. They were concerned enough to alert hotel staff. When staff got there, they reportedly had to separate Ashlee and Joe. And the neighbors also said this wasn't a one-time thing. They claimed they had been fighting ever since they got there.
Okay, the friend of this hotel staffer goes on to confirm that Joe is a frequent visitor to Zanzibar and he's very well known.
Now, here's where people start getting confused. Because in most resorts, if a couple is causing that kind of disturbance, they're usually warned, or in serious cases, asked to leave. But they're not typically split up into separate rooms unless they choose to pay for that themselves. Now, these villas cost over $1,000 a night, so who paid for that? Did the hotel just decide to do that on their own? Or was someone covering the cost? And then another detail's not sitting right with people. Ashlee was known for documenting everything. Like, she was always on her phone, always recording moments. So when reports came out saying she didn't have a charger with her, people immediately questioned that. Because think about it, she had been in Tanzania for days. There's no way she just didn't have her charger. Influencers plan their trips around their content. Their equipment is literally a priority. And then, we shouldn't ignore the fact that there's no CCTV footage, something that could have actually helped piece this whole situation together. And for a high-end resort charging thousands per night, that part just stands out. It gets even more concerning when you add what some staff have allegedly said, that Joe was a regular at that resort. Like, this wasn't his first time there. According to those claims, he had been there with different women before, and would even move around quietly during his stays.
Joe happened to be a frequent guest at this place, Zanzibar and in Tanzania. He knew women, and he was sneaking out at night to go cheat.
So when you put that next to everything else, it starts to paint a picture. People are already saying it makes him look like someone who wasn't really loyal, and that the proposal might not have been what it seemed on the surface. As if that wasn't already a lot. There's also been a lot of talk about the financial side of things. Some people believe Ashlee actually paid for the trip herself, and the reason that's coming up is because Joe had reportedly been dealing with major financial issues. Back in July 2025, it was revealed that his company's main fund had lost around 80% of its value. He even admitted their trading strategy didn't hold up under those market conditions. So now, in the court of public opinion, people are factoring that in too. Because when you add financial pressure into an already messy situation, it just raises more questions about what was really going on at the time. And then there's what happened after. Ashlee's family had to set up a GoFundMe, and Joe didn't step in financially the way people expected. For someone who is believed to be a millionaire and is maintaining his innocence, people thought he might at least help out, even just as a gesture. Considering this is his fiancé we're talking about, then there's something else that's resurfaced. Joe's ex-wife, Shay Jackson, had a situation during her wedding where her own father refused to walk her down the aisle. And that's not something you usually see happen without a reason. So now people are looking back at it and wondering if there were already concerns about the relationship back then. It's not confirmed what the reason was, but in the context of everything coming out now, it's another detail that's making people look at the bigger picture differently. Now, I know with so much information coming out, it's easy to get confused about where this actually happened. At first, it looked like everything went down at the same place where Ashlee took those photos with the lions, but that resort came out and cleared it up. They said she only visited, had a good experience, and left. The actual incident happened in Zanzibar. And then there's another detail that stands out to me. Ashlee didn't post any photos from Zuri Resort itself, and for someone who usually shares everything, that just feels a bit unusual. Then we get into the medical reports. The first report mentioned an unidentified mark around Ashlee's neck, and it didn't look like it came from clothing or anything soft. Then a second report listed the cause of death as cerebral hypoxia caused by strangulation and suffocation, and that doesn't happen from being suspended from a common wardrobe. And then there's Joe's behavior after everything happened. He waited about 11 hours before contacting Ashlee's parents, and when he finally did, he only told them there had been an incident. After that, there were no updates. And of course, social media has a lot to say about that. One comment said, "This tragedy keeps getting worse. This man was clearly a calculating con artist. His ex-wife is fortunate she didn't lose her life." Another one pointed out, "She was smart to tell her mother that they were fighting. If she didn't, we probably would have never known there was an altercation." And then this one really stood out. The fact that he was still in her room after they were separated is already suspicious, and his silence after the incident just feels like a cover-up. So yeah, you can see where people's heads are at with this. And now, with all these details coming out piece by piece, it really feels like there's still a lot we don't know. So what do you guys think about all this? Does any of this add up to you? Or does it feel like there are still too many gaps in the story? And how do you feel about the hotel's role in all of this? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because this situation just keeps getting more complicated the more we hear about it.